Shell casings, no case hearing. True stay quiet when that fear starts staring at the cameras. Blink, but they miss the whole frame. And the street got rules, don't say no fucking names. Sirens talk, but they never do no listen. Chalk out lines, fading with the rain dripping. No case hearing, files stay thin. Evidence gone, it's dust in the wind. Yeah, 32 shells, tell time echoes. Each pop mark at the time when I let go. Yeah, city hold breath and the window shut. But I never go, yeah, I never giving up. Hey, I reach off, I go too hard. Case hearing, the judge don't see, and the street already agreed to be. A silence loud in a crowded hall. The truth got weight, but it's still gonna fall. Like the 32 shells, but the clip was big. Choices stack fast when you move too late. The alley no more than the news at 6, and they just can't talk. Yeah, that's the fix. No case hearing, lawyers all shrug. Paperwork drowned in complete mugs. Yeah, life files collect dust, not truth. Justice is blind when you got a lack of proof. Yeah, I will shoot. Oh, don't go too far. I need proof. Yeah, don't go too far. I will shoot. Don't go too far. I need proof. Don't go too far. Not in words, but it's etched in your mind. When the kids walk by, it's like it's all fine. No one feel the strange when you're too long. Kids walking by like something is wrong. Yeah, no case hearing, the clock just ticks. Time pass slow in between new breaks. Yeah, this name stay rumors and the rumors stay safe. And the street math code and erase every trace. Yeah, 32 shells, but the night stay calm. Moonlight walks like a silent mom. Block sweep clean before dawn, and a life move on. It's just another song. I will shoot. Don't go too far. I need proof. Yeah, babe, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. You treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. Didn't treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. You treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. You treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me bad, then you begging me to stay. Say my name like a prayer. When you walk away, I'm your biggest mistake. I'm your favorite choice. You ignore my calls when you still miss my voice. You say that I'm the problem. You say that I'm the truth. You say that I'm toxic. You say that I'm the proof. You treat me like dirt, then you crown me a king. Break my heart just to see if I'll sing. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. Didn't treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me so bad. Didn't treat me so good. Yeah, you treat me so bad. You treat me. Yo, what it do's, YouTubes? What it do's? Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I am your handsome, mustachioed host, and you are my beautiful big booty homie. Salute to you, Toxic, and salute to you, Penelope. Welcome in. And just in case anybody is curious about the music that I open my streams with, it's all human made music that I make myself that is purposely intended to sound different than the algorithmic nonsense BS, uh, whatever you call it, stuff that you get everywhere else. So I know that it does. Penelope told me today, this morning, uh, she's like, you don't know how to like, be on the beat at all. And I thought that was so funny because it's not so much off beat because I use a metronome. I don't know if if you guys know what a metronome is, but it's that thing that goes tick 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 so that you are on tempo, but it's off key is what it is, and that's purposeful because I love I enjoy for my sound to sound completely different than what you're used to hearing. I like to try to shock the senses whenever you hear something of mine. But regardless, it is Sunday, Buns Day, which means any thotties in the chat. What them cakes do, shorty? What them cakes do? That's the real question you need to be asking yourself. But I don't really have a topic, man. I don't really know what we're gonna be talking about or if we're gonna be talking at all. Maybe we'll just sit here and look into each other's eyes romantically. But I don't know why Penelope told me to quit crying. All the greatest things happen whenever people go emo status. As a matter of fact, speaking of real life gangsters that go emo status, uh, don't make me do it, Penelope. Don't make me do it, shorty. But god dang, man, this candle, guys. I don't know, man. If you ever do a threesome, pounding cheek with a friend and look into his eyes, yeah, all the time. Oh, nah, bro. It's full eye contact. That's the only reason to do it. If I ain't getting full eye contact, then I'm getting cheated. Nah. But I lit a candle, guys, and not like in the Catholic sense. I didn't like light a candle and do some brujeria. I uh I lit a candle and held was just holding it in my hand for the smell, and the glass literally cracked, and it was like ka-ding. And then I put out the candle, and this bitch has been smoking for probably like, I don't know, how long has it been since I talked to you, Penelope? At least like 30 minutes. Hey, you want a Spanish language course? No. No, thank you. Mucho gusto. Who's giving a Spanish language course? Guys, you know what? You know what though? Okay, this is the point of my stream. All y'all wondering like, what blind? Why gather us here if you don't have nothing to say? Well, first of all, nobody stays very long anyway, so f that. But what do you call it? Uh, the point of the stream, dude, you'll learn Spanish so fast. No comprendo. But Penelope learns Spanish, bro. Uh, I can rap in Spanish. I can't talk. I can't speak in Spanish, but I can rap in Spanish. So figure that out. But my point of the stream is today is celebrating individuality. Not only individuality, but outliers. We have a homie of the channel, Jeff, who has a channel called Outliers in Exile. But yeah, did it was it Mandarin? Uh, no, I didn't say Mandarin. What did I say? Because Penelope, Penelope speaks like a kind of like bro. Look, just off topic real quick. Have y'all ever noticed that the world? I don't know, like if the continents are really where they say they are, but if they are, like you can track the language from English here in America all the way down through South America and then through the more third world South American countries. And the closer you get to Asia, the more Asian sounding the dialect is. And by the time you get up to Puerto Rico and El Salvador and Venezuela and all that, the language uh specifically, what is it? Uh, what what nationality is that? Like the hottest chicks, bro. What nationality is it? It's not Hungarian. It's not. No, it's like half. It's like exactly half Latin and half Asian. Like in all aspects or all respects. Like it's like almost exactly half Asian and half Latin. It's like Tila Tequila status. Anyways, but if you ever hear Penelope speak Spanish, she has one of those like Chinese styling dialects that's so fast, like literally, bro. I can't even understand nothing she's saying because it's so fast. I swear to God, like she's like, and it's like damn, it's impressive. Shit, let Penelope get on here and start speaking in Spanish, bro. She'll have everybody acting right. She'll fucking even if you don't even understand her, she'll have you to straighten it out. No, what the fuck is it? It's hold on, dude. I'm not gonna be especially when I'm mad. You don't care what. Yeah, maybe that might play a big part of it too. That might big play a big part of it too because I know the girls are mostly speaking nonsense most of the time. So like, if you piss a woman off, bro, like they're just gonna throw a whole bunch of nonsense at you super fast anyway. So I usually just try and like stay present and like think about cheesecake and shit when a girl gets mad at me. Let's ask Gemini. Toxic thinks I'm Jules, the lady in my troll video. Oh, bro, y'all know me. Jinx, Poke, you owe me a coke. Hey, Gemini, are you there? Gemini.
Yes, I'm listening.
Hey, can you name off some of the or some of the nationalities that are like half Asian, half Latin?
Certainly. There aren't specific nationalities that are half Asian and half Latin, as those are broad cultural and geographic categories. However, there are many individuals with mixed heritage from both regions, leading to diverse backgrounds.
Well, how
Is
do
there
what man, you're so literal. I hate that about the AI. How do I ask it? Dude, I remember okay, there was this guard in jail, bro. She was a chick and she would always go and like she was always trying to like do some freaky shit. Like she would go and watch me in the shower or she would come to my rack and like bend over in front of me, and I would make like a big ass joke about it and like make her uh like look under the beds and stuff. But I can't. She was a certain nationality that I can't remember what it is. It's like no, it's not Puerto Rican, not Colombian, not Cuban, not Dominican. It's like it's God damn. What is the name of it? Dang, there's not very many things that stump me. Yeah, Gemini does sound like a smoker, like a crack smoker, but it'll come to me, man. It'll come to me. Uh, it's like Chinese light. It's like light Chinese. It's kind of like you know how like Malaysian and Korean are like light Chinese. Well, this is like that. It's Asian, but like Asian light. And the light part is like it's when you really look at somebody of this nationality, it's like half Mexican, half Asian. And but what's crazy, and I didn't know this until I heard Penelope speaking Spanish and I started like looking up the dialects because I thought that my brain like cracked out when I heard Penelope speaking Spanish because I was like, dude, like how is it's like Thai, but it's not Thai, but it is in that same kind of like bracket like Thai. What the fuck is it called, dude? And there's a bunch of like corn. It's not Guatemalan. You're getting closer though. Let me see. Philippine. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Oh, hey, Jen. Salute your face. No, my face is Mexican and honky, but Filipino is what I was thinking of. When you bro, and it tripped me out because I started saying it when I was in jail when I that guard dude because when you're in jail and you don't have nothing to do, you just pretty much just stare at people. And I started noticing that this chick had a whole lot of qualities that were half and when I say half, I mean like mixed between like she had Asian eyes, but like Hispanic lips or like features, but then her mannerisms were mixed also. And then I started looking into the language, and the dialects are mixed too. So like it's crazy that Filipino or Philippine uh what would it, what is the language uh Filipino. Uh, oh, right on. You are good, Jen, and welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, it's crazy. Tagalog, I've never heard of that. It's crazy because like you can like look at the map and the languages match up with like the ethnicities because like the whiter you are, the more the more sound you make, like and the more the more Russian slash German your the sound is. And then as you move towards Asia, the more Asian and it's like England is English, our mother language, or like we have our own dialect that we created ourselves supposedly, but like England is like a middle ground between like Russian and German and Chinese. Because, bro, when you hear people speak Chinese, like it doesn't even sound. I swear to God, to me, and I speak multiple languages, and am a musician. So like my brain is good with sounds. It doesn't even sound coherent. It's like bling chicka ding ba-ding 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 chicka ding ba-da-ding. And it's like what like how the fuck do like it's just incomprehensible to me. Like I can't even understand how you go about like pa-ching ching ding ba-ding ding 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 ding. Like it sounds like somebody's like fucking like taking a piece of metal and just like throwing it in a metal room and it's just like bouncing around everywhere or something. And it's like, what the fuck is like these sounds? And there has to be like this like separation in our brain that like the but it's crazy. You know what's crazy about it though to me is the English music still sounds good to those people because a lot of people go and tour in those countries. And I don't mean no offense. All of those, everything I was just saying was respectfully. I don't really like Chinese people, but uh, I don't hate them either. So I just don't like them because I think Elon Musk is an undercover Chinese. But that's all respectfully. But what do you call it? But I mean, I'm just saying, like, and I'm tribal. I'm tribal as fuck, man. I can't lie. I can't lie, man. I think that more people should be tribal. I don't think that the world should have ever been opened up to like all be this big ass everybody kumbaya. I think that yeah, and I am on the spectrum according to some people. So I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Pretty sure. I don't know. But and and AI. I had a Burmese python lady help raise my kids. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, I am a little bit retarded. That's true too. That is true too. And plus I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Chinese people I'm pretty sure Elon Musk sits around with his Chinese relatives talking about Mexican people. So I ain't gonna fool myself about that. But and I think you know what I think, man? I think that all government, and this is just my opinion, I'm free to have it. I'm free to have it because you don't pay my bills and you can't stop me. But I think that all government should be boiled down to you're ruled by the people who live where you live. And I know that's like a crazy thing to say to tell somebody like, "Hey, bro, you don't know what the fuck happens at the borders, so stop being worried about immigrants because you're dumb and you don't know what you're talking about." So then people say, "Well, it's America and all this stuff and bullshit, bullshit." But it's like, no, bro. If you don't live there, you shouldn't even have a say, bro. You should not. Nobody in fucking Washington or in fucking all these people states, y'all don't know what's going on at the border, bro. Y'all don't even know nothing about immigration, and yet these are the people who make the rules about it. It's like, bro, just shut up. You're just reacting to. Oh, what's up, dude? What's up, mustard squirrel? Salute to you guys and welcome in, dude. I didn't I'm having a little bit of cold feet and second thoughts on what I can tell you, so I have or what I can show you, bro, or what like I don't want to get smoked or nothing, and I don't want to like. So I'm gonna have to take my time with that, but just bear with me a little bit, and I promise you, I will eventually give you some information that is worth it. But don't think that I forgot about you. No, you say a lot of people know what's happening at the border, but how do they know? A lot of people fucking hear other people talking about what's happening at the border. Like that's the thing is just because you heard somebody talk about it, you that we what the main thing, bro. I think that we need to understand as humans is we need to start learning how to say that you know something versus you relate to something. Because I can say all this stuff that okay, like I can talk about my life, say I'm blind, I'm half Mexican, half white, uh this and that and this and that. Tell y'all all about my life. Well, if you then relate to it, like you can relate to my life. You don't know it though. So like when the news tells you something, like you've received a message, like you've received a broadcast, and you might be able to relate to it, so you can think that you do understand it. But how do you know something unless you're there, bro? And a camera is not good enough. AI is showing us that a camera is not good enough. Toxic says, and then they go all Freddy Krueger, but a lot of understanding of what happens at the border happens inside Mexico. So being on only one side, you only stand. That's a good point, bro. That's an excellent point. Not just that. Uh, well, I'll say this. I'm not talking about politicians because if you make policy, then you're crooked, a crooked neck motherfucker that's getting paid by somebody to turn your head. I swear to God, bro, I seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. I swear to God, bro, I have personally went and violated the whole Constitution, all up and down them borders, and there are tons, all, all, all of the shit that happens at the border, all of the illegal shit, all of the real crimes that are being committed are being done under the supervision of guards and politicians. Like that is and I can't talk about nowhere else. I can't say that because I know that they say like Frank Lucas used to do that shit in New York or wherever, and the fucking uh Rick Ross did that shit in like Atlanta or somewhere. I don't know about all that. I don't know. I hear that. I hear that. I heard that Dave used to fly in charter planes uh, from from Puerto Rico to Miami with metric tons of dope on. I don't know about that shit, but I can tell you this: I know for a fact that there are train carts carrying metric tons of every kind of dope that you could fucking imagine that pass fucking through customs every single day. I can tell you this: that there is a designated time that there will be traffickers, both drug traffickers and human traffickers, passing through customs at a certain gate to make sure that they're gone passed through without issue. And it's like, well, how do you know that, Blind? Well, because I've seen it with my own eyes, bro. I've seen people straight up, okay, hey, you want to make some money, bro? Be at this hotel or motel room tomorrow, and somebody's going to drop off a vehicle to you at right on the other side of the border, and once they drop the vehicle off to you, you need to be in gate 3 at exactly 11 o'clock a.m. to make sure that that you get passed through. Now we can't guarantee you a safe journey. We can't guarantee, so you have to make sure that your license is good and that you pay attention to the traffic and shit. But as far as getting this shit across the border, no problem, bro. And I've never seen anybody. I've never, bro. I've seen people bring in 50 human beings. I've never seen anybody do it smuggling anything. Like I mean, it's smuggled, but it's always with the help of customs. And it's like, well, how the fuck is that possible? Like, how? Like, really ask yourself, how is that possible? Like, if the politicians are so worried about immigration that they go and fucking cry on TV like a bunch of baby back bitches talking about immigrants and saying that people eat dogs and shit, then wouldn't the very easiest thing to do be to tighten up the supervision of the officers that are actually boots on the ground? So why has it not been done? Why have they not stopped in this constant flow of illegal substances and people? And it's like, oh, well, because they're in on it, because they're intending on doing it. Their intentions are to do that. Like it's set up to make sure that, bro, like there's so many stories that I can't even tell because the last time that I talked about it, people were like, "Oh, so you're saying that you are a human trafficker?" Oh, see, no, dude. Those the idea of what a real human trafficker is versus like what it actually is, bro, is like come so far away from each other. People don't like. It's not like fucking TV, bro. Look up Free Burma Rangers and their founder, David Eubank. He raised his kids in war zones. David grabbed a little girl with AK bullets hitting all around him and saved her. Oh shit. Okay, well, yeah, actually, don't it? Okay, my brother used to work as a border patrol. He used to find bodies chopped up and shit. Yep, you will see that, bro. You see, look, this is the thing too, is like you said, it's not a one-sided issue. It's not a one side. Yeah, it's not a one-sided issue. So if you think that any politician that thinks that they're gonna go and shut down the border in any type of way, like even if they were to say, okay, we we're hearing that there are crooked customs officers or border patrols, we're going to raise the standard and tighten up all these positions. Bro, they in Laredo, it's either Laredo or El Paso. They took a congressman, killed him, strung him up on a telephone pole for everybody to see as a warning that if you think that you're going to come and disrupt business, that this is what's going to happen to you. Killed his whole family and everything, bro. And it's like, oh, okay. And I'm supposed to think that fucking Mitt Romney is standing up to this? Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. What the fuck is Mitt Romney or one of these jerk off politicians gonna do to these crazy guys, bro? Nothing. He's a Renaissance man. Hell yeah. Used to be dead set against it. Uh, I mean, they all are, bro. And that's the thing too. That's I mean, I can't really talk too much on that. But uh it's it's everything in life is controlled, bro. Either you have control or somebody else does. Like if you haven't taken control, then somebody else has. Like of everything. There's not anything that happens that's out of people's control. And if you think that there is, then you're just not understanding that a lapse in restriction is not a lapse of control. That's actually an exercise of control. Like if I'm in charge of keeping my hand around the neck of the border and I let that go for a little while, that's not an exercise of not having control. That's actually an exercise of control. And that's what they do, bro. Why do you think that the how do you think that they're able to follow illegal drugs? Dude, I swear, bro, it's crazy because well they have rules. They will always have rules. But when the people that are in charge of these rules change, so do the rules. But it's crazy because when fentanyl came out, bro, like I saw it so clearly unfold in front of me, and there was a time period where right here in Texas, where the street drugs that existed already were being the very at the very first. because I only knew of fentanyl in these like patches. They were like transdermal pain patches. Well, then somebody in Mexico or somebody somewhere started incorporating this liquid into other drugs like H, for example. And there's a huge market for that here in Texas, here in South Texas. What do you call it? So like, even if you don't like do the drug, you still know people that do, or people that have like access. Well, it was crazy, bro, because this shipment, no, I mean, I don't know, people know, I don't know, this shipment of fatty, uh, like, what would you call it? Cut H came in to San Antonio and literally, bro, burned a fucking trail from this hand to this hand to this hand to this hand. And you could follow the trail, bro. And they all of them got the thing, put all their customers onto it, ruined a whole bunch of lives. And then you could literally, I swear to God, bro, just walk backwards. Boom, dude got raided. Boom, dude got raided. Boom, dude got raided. Boom, dude got raided. And it's like, whoa, how the fuck are they tracking exactly which hands exchange these products? Well, it's because the only fucking way you got the product in the first place is because the person that gave it to you had every intention of tracking where it went to. And it's like, dang, dude, that's crazy. It's crazy to think. It's what's diabolical about it is the fact that that means that they know all the people that are dying from this shit. Like that means that they know all of the people who are letting their lives become considered. Dude, drugs like Suboxone that could have saved so many people's lives, bro, if they would have just released it 10 years earlier, or at least if Reckitt Benckiser had released the the patent, the chemical compound patent, if they had taken the chokehold off of the patent, they would have saved millions of people's lives. And because they wouldn't, because they wanted to price gouge people by charging $15 a strip. What do you call it? A whole bunch of people died, and they're okay with that. No, China started selling the chemicals to Mexican cartels. No, bro. That's a myth, bro. That's a myth, bro. Or that may not be a myth. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is the thing is that I don't know anybody with no Chinese connects. I know tons of people with I know tons of Mexicans with American connects. I know tons of Mexicans that get their drugs from American businessmen. So what does that tell you? Like if a Mexican, if a high ranking Mexican drug dealer is getting his drugs from an American businessman, then where do you think those drugs are originating? In China? Hell no. There's chemists making that shit right here, or not even right here, in little laboratories in South America. You can track the chemical composition just like you can with explosive. Is why they destroyed the Georgia. What do you mean? The Georgia Guidestones got destroyed? Suboxone is not a lifesaver, but ibogaine is yet. They charge 20 grand in Mexico. I've never heard of that. It's not a myth. I spent a lot of time in Mexico. I love. Yes. Not only did they have China helping dig the tunnel, bro, bro, come on, bro. I'm sorry, toxic. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, dog. Until I mean, I'll take your word if you say, because all that shit, it's not true, bro. To my experience, so I will take your word for it if you say that you've seen that, or if you know people like the tunnels. Like, bro, there's no tunnels, bro. They don't need a fucking tunnel. Why would you need it? Okay, they're like, hey, why don't we tunnel down and under the fucking earth and tunnel our way through, or we could just bribe or blackmail one of these guys. It's it's like it's common sense. It's a verifiable fact. You don't need to take long to research it. And I know firsthand. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I always hear shit like that. Just like when they were saying that Al Qaeda was trying to smuggle people in, bro. There has not been not one, not even one, bro. And if you go, and I've already had people, I've had this argument with many people, bro. People thinking that they have proof, but every single time, all I get is suspected terrorists. There has not been one confirmed terrorist caught at the Mexican border, bro. Fucking Mexicans would kill the terrorists, bro. Like Mexicans ain't about to smuggle in no fucking Al Qaeda. Like that's crazy. And then all this Chinese interference with Mexico, bro, I have never seen. And everything else see that's the thing is that everything else I'm talking about firsthand experience. I'm not talking about anything that I would ever need anybody else to tell me or verify. Like every single thing that I'm talking about so far is things that I've experienced with my own hands and feet and brain. And I've seen the way that the crooked cops work. I've seen the way that these smuggle operations work up close and personal. And and thank God, bro, it's been years. It's been like 20 years since I've lived that lifestyle. So there's room for this shit to change. But I've never seen anything Chinese. I've never seen anything Chinese, and I've never seen anything ISIS or Al Qaeda, whatever, at the border, bro. Never. Terrorism claim is largely bullshit, and yes, Mexicans do not like outsiders, but they do work with China, and that is a classic example of being one side of a two-sided border. You learn more about that in Mexico, especially if you are connected down in southern Mexico. Right on. I agree with that, bro. I don't it's hard to even like it's hard to wrap my mind around because like you said, bro, like okay, like Nuevo Leon, bro, like Monterrey. Uh these people aren't interested it don't matter what you have to offer them. They're not interested in doing business with most people. That is because you're in Texas, look up Zacatecas and the Chinese mining. They know how to dig tunnels better than anyone on earth, and that is why cartels hire them to make. That sounds crazy to me, bro. That just sounds crazy. You know what? Fuck it. Let's look it up. Let's look it up, bro. Maybe we can learn something about digging Chinese tunnels at the border today. It's just, bro. In my life experience, and like I said, man, I don't have all of the information to be able to say like conclusively I know this or I know that like for a fact, or like I can't say that 100% don't have, but like in my life experience, the one thing, bro, like the most majorest thing that that if you do it you're going to meet resistance is digging. Anywhere where you dig, you're going to meet resistance, whether it be through geological resistance or whether it be cops or whether like there aren't a lot of digging that goes on in life, bro. No, well, I don't. Hold on, shut up, Penelope. What do you call it? I'll get there. But no, see, you see, I don't, bro. I don't have context over there. Like I said, everything that I seen is from the past, but it wasn't a one-sided thing. It wasn't because I was in Texas. Like it's the I know just as many people on both sides of the border. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Chinese digging in Mexico, bro. Let's look. Y'all wanna look it up on YouTube? Nah, nah. Look, we'll read something. I'll just I'll look it up through the news or whatever, or through like some type of news source. Okay, Chinese. I mean, dude. Of course, I've heard the rumor though. Or I've heard the story. I know the story, so I know that there is gonna be like stories that it happened, but that don't prove anything. Chinese interference at the border. Let's see. Okay, the AI overview says concerns about Chinese interference at the US border involve a significant rise in Chinese nationals illegally crossing the southern border, potentially linked to the Chinese Communist Party strategies and exploitation of smuggling routes by Chinese entities, fueling fentanyl trade and raising espionage concerns. This influx, facilitated by social media and smugglers, has surged dramatically, with thousands encountered annually, leading to worries about national security, economic impact, and the potential for covert operations or intelligence gathering by U.S. officials and think tanks. But let me ask you this: do you not understand that if, let's just say if, bro, because I know it for a fact and I've seen it in real life, but let's just say if the United States itself was distributing these drugs, they have to have a person to put blame on. They have to have a somebody to say where it's coming from. So like this doesn't, let's see if we can find some. Okay. I don't I don't believe this shit, bro. Okay, it says key aspects of Chinese interference. Surge in crossings. A sharp increase in Chinese citizens entering the U.S. illegally, often via the U.S. Mexico border bypassing officials' port of entry. Exploitation by cartels. Chinese nationals paying large sums to cartels for smuggling services, generating significant revenue that strengthen criminal organizations. Okay, why why is it framed like that? I wonder, because wouldn't it be Chinese exploitation of cartels? Okay, espionage and security risks. Bro, see, the thing is, dude, is that you have to trust your fucking government to believe any of this shit, dude. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Toxic. Real question, bro. True question. And I'm not even being like facetious or being stupid. Do you know anybody that's ever stepped, or have you ever talked to anybody that has ever stepped foot in one of these tunnels? True question. And and be for real. Uh, uh yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Well, cause I don't wanna get too bogged down just on this one thing. I just wanted to goof off, but I know that this is gonna turn into but let's go. Let's go. Yeah. I knew somebody was gonna say that. What's up, Rockefeller? Salute, bro. Why don't you tell your boyfriend to come get some bitch slap and to come tell his opinion too.
This. I can't hear you for some reason.
What do you
Oh, there
mean?
we go. There we go. Hold on.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
there's certain things you shouldn't ask. Think about it.
I know.
All right.
But true, that is true. But I'm speaking from a place of firsthand experience, and the
Yeah,
first
but you're
thing.
speaking from that on the other side of the border that I would be speaking from.
Okay, but the thing is that I don't want you to like it goes without saying. I don't want you to touch on anything that would cause anybody any kind of trouble. But other than that, first of all, lay out what you can verify with firsthand knowledge. And you don't have to say why or how or anything, but like just if you can give me at least like a vague idea of.
Well, there's all kind. There are areas of connection between the cartels and the China, the triads in California with the weed situation. So, um,
I'm not familiar.
I've known operations where the cartels run weed operations. I've known operations where the cartels send them growers.
Firsthand.
Yeah,
So you've like met the Chinese people that came.
of course. Yeah. In fact, the triads will send a lot of their women to do the trimming. But these are
Okay.
like strictly illegal operations. You're not talking like like in Oregon, the Oregon Liquor Control, they took over when weed became recreational. So a legal grow operation now has to have the same kind of license as a bar. Similar, it's not exactly, but it is through the Oregon Liquor Commission. But the triads widely are California. They
Well,
um,
isn't weed legal in California?
Yeah, but these operations aren't. These operations aren't trying to sell it that way. In fact, they like to run a lot of their shit to Texas and other states where weed is still illegal. For example, my brother got caught in Texas with 50 grand in cash for that very reason, because while it became legal to grow it in Oregon, the price fucking you know fell out the bottom. I mean, you can still make money, but it's harder to sell.
So you're
So
telling me, just so because I want to clarify what you're saying. Are you telling me that these are huge grow operations that are ran by Chinese triads that are only interested in operating on an illegal basis? And you're telling me that these people aren't at least half operated by American officials?
I wouldn't say that only anything. Nothing is only and always. Those are two things you got to get out of your mind. So, for example, the Mexican cartels and the Colombian cartels used to keep fucking barrels of cash, but rats can chew through that fucking plastic. So the cartels are largely investing in as much legitimate shit as they can in Mexico. So, for example, one of the first things I learned when I was down there
But you're
was
talking about California.
no, I was saying on this side of the border, there are still some connections between the triads. From what I know, though, the triads didn't operate just the firsthand experience I know of. I didn't know of them having the grow operation. I knew of them stepping in, putting money into uh, my. I'm not going to say how I'm related to them, but let's just say my contacts were the growers and smugglers, and the triads would be the funders out of California.
Okay. Okay. And
I'm only
and
assuming they're triads. They're just Chinese gangsters.
that operate in Northern or Southern California?
I don't know where they operate. I know that the one that I know of was in. There's a lot of static going on. What is that?
It's you.
Oh, no, it's not me. What was that? That's weird, huh?
It sounds like you're blowing in your mic.
Nope. It sounded like fucking white noise to me. It was crazy. Anyway, hear that? What the fuck is that? It's neither of our mics. Look, your thing doesn't have a ring around it, neither does mine. Are you there? What the hell? I don't hear you. Oh, there you are, and I can hear you now.
Now you can hear me, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This Chromebook, dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least you have something.
Yeah, kind of.
So I knew there was an area where they did involve in some of the grow operations is when they would send their women to do trimming. So I did know that they did send up some women to do some trimming.
Okay, so
and they were Chinese women. They didn't speak English either.
So then this is still it's kind of tight secondhand information, but it's still secondhand information.
Well, it's secondhand information for you.
No, but you're saying that you didn't see the grow up or because
I didn't say that.
I thought that's what
I said. I said that I didn't see grow operations that the Chinese connections owned and operated and maintained.
That's what we're talking about.
They were the money behind it. So they were, they were investors. So they were partners. They were like 50-50 partners, but the grow operation was ran by my contacts.
But that's like a lobbyist. That happens everywhere. Like that, honestly, it isn't even necessarily illegal unless the operation is illegal.
It is, it's illegal because they're taking it to states where it's illegal. They're smuggling it across lines and shit like that.
And just based on my life experience, bro.
I'll just say this: the particular contact I'm talking about is dead now.
Okay. Well,
that's so good. It has something to do with who they were connected with. So I wouldn't say that's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I meant good that you're not speaking on like
they were a family,
situation.
So
yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean it like that.
I didn't take it that way, so no apology needed.
But okay. So when you tell me that this is something, because dude, the United States is highly surveilled and monitored. So when you tell me that there's an operation here that's more interested, and especially when it's operating in a place like California, that it's more interested in crossing state lines with big amounts of a substance.
Well, I don't know what their other interests are. I only know that particular operation, that's what they were doing. Yes.
Well,
but I would also say a lot of the weed did stay in California though. So but of course, so like my contacts were not just growing it, but they were moving it into places like Arizona and Texas. Like I said, my brother got fucking nabbed with 50 grand in his truck, and fuck, he's had to be on parole for fucking 10 years because of that.
I mean, that sucks, dude.
And it sucks because he was at the fucking peak, like right when Oregon made it recreational. Those first 3 years, fuck, he was making a shit ton of money, but he was being stupid with it. Like he bought himself a Humvee, and he just was buying all these fucking toys. And then I guess he thought that you could take, you could tow this shit behind you and make it look like you're on some recreational trip. And he made some stupid smart ass comment to the cop, and then they just tore his truck apart and found it. Yeah.
Okay, but we're getting off track. Okay, so I want to try and circle back around to what the original disagreement was. What leads you to believe? Because bro, I don't doubt that there is this probably I would say less than 1% Chinese effort to infiltrate the border
You
itself.
can't put a percentage on things unless you have some kind of, you know, legitimate data points you're working out. But still, again, I have
No, you
nothing.
can for the sake of a conversation.
I have
Why
nothing to
not?
do. I have no information about what's coming across the border other than what you're reading.
But I do.
Well,
Like
I know
I
I'm not saying that I'm not saying I don't chill on border towns. So I'm just saying, as far as Chinese connections with the cartels in Mexico, this is where the precursor chemicals are coming from. And so the way China views it is their unrestricted warfare. So these are things that they can do to weaken the United States without it becoming an official act of war. Which
yeah,
it really is an act of war,
all
but
of this stuff is abstract as fuck and highly theoretical.
no,
Like
the precursor chemicals for fentanyl they're not made in Mexico. They're made in China.
they're also made right here in the United States where they were created.
Fentanyl is, but not the precursors, the chemicals. They're incredibly difficult to get, but China sends them into Mexico and now Canada.
What
So
proof is there of that though? What proof?
the
What proof?
fentanyl,
What proof is there that there is more fentanyl coming from China than America? Like the we can see and it'll actually prove it to us.
you're not gonna fucking get proof like that. You'll fucking die.
True,
The
because
proof is going down to Mexico and getting to know what's going on without asking questions.
well, that's see, and that exactly that is the environment that I find myself being raised in. So
Well,
that,
if that's the case, then you know that you don't go gain proof unless you're working for the fucking feds.
but this seems to be this topic that people say like is there is proof, and
There's okay, so like when you want to talk about things that you can prove that aren't dangerous, is a lot of the legitimate businesses that the cartels involve themselves with, which with Zacatecas is mining is one of those things where China is involved with the mining operations in Zacatecas and the cartels. In fact, they're fighting over that.
and
And
what are they
I'm not
mining?
gonna I don't know. You'd have to check. I forget. It could be cobalt, lithium. I think it's lithium. I could be wrong though. It's been about uh, you know, number of years since I even learned
Yeah.
about that type of
I
shit.
mean, while I respect your right to believe this stuff, I look at most of this stuff as fairy tale stuff because I look at it as motivation for voting, bro. Because
There's
right,
there's
we
verifiable information about Zacatecas that you can.
but none that will satisfactorily prove what I'm talking about. Like, okay, let me give you.
Nothing's going to do that unless you go down there.
But that's exactly my point, and I've been here the whole time. And we actually saw. Okay, we saw the introduction of fentanyl to the underground market, bro. Like we saw it in real time happen, and it not only it happened in stages, and and now it's like it's to where fentanyl has just like this constant flow into the United
Well,
States.
there's a lot of reasons that it happened in stages. For example, you know, one small reason is that when before El Chapo was taken, which is right about the time that started to get big, that was, you know, it really violated their ethics, if you want to call it that, because overdosing wasn't something that was positive for them.
Well, that's a myth too, or that's a highly exaggerated part of fentanyl. The and any like
Oh, yeah,
doctors will
right.
say
Have you
that.
seen what people look like on fentanyl? We're not talking
Sure,
about the type the doctors use. Oh, yeah,
sure.
I do know what you're talking about. Okay, so you're talking about like the cops that are faking the overdoses, right?
I mean, not just
Yeah.
faking
And
overdoses.
that one chick, she was supposed to be highly trained drug specialist, and she faked being overdosed. And then, and then
Not just that, also attributing things that are unexplained to fentanyl the same
Oh
way that
yeah,
they
and
did
then
COVID.
here's the funniest thing. So there was two cops. It was the female and then the other one. Both of them freak out and they fall on the ground. And here's the problem: the lady, she's a specialist, so she should have known how to properly fake a fentanyl overdose. She should have also known that it has to be ingested. You're not talking like the wind blows it in your face and you fucking overdose.
Yeah.
But that's what they're trying to do. And so here's what's funny though. In both of those instances, especially her, when they were called out on it, they immediately code switched to, well, it's possible I was just overly reacting and afraid. What's interesting though is like when you talk about the doctors saying, arguing different things about the mythology behind fentanyl. A lot of that is these doctors actually reviewed the footage and they're like, oh no, this is not what an overdose looks like.
Exactly, because fentanyl overdose usually results in cardiac arrest or respiratory depression.
And
More
throwing
people
up.
people die from suffocating. They don't die from overdosing. They die.
They die a
because
lot. They
of
die a
breathing.
lot from puking and then drowning in their puke
Yes.
because they're laying on their back. So here's another thing. I was in an ambulance about 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember I was just shooting the shit with the EMTs and I asked them, because they're in the town I was at, there's a lot of fucking Fenty addicts. And I was asking, like, are you guys getting a lot of overdoses? And he says, that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the mythology behind it. You get people that smoke weed and they come in thinking they're overdosing on fentanyl. And it turns out they just need a brownie and some chocolate milk.
Oh shit. I see that. I mean, I could see that. And dude, I don't know how they do it, or I don't know like what the system was to get the message out. But the same thing happened during COVID, bro. And I don't know if
Well,
it's
real
panic
quick,
or
it's
I don't
about
know if
budget.
it's like an official
You got to remember
message.
the
But
sheriff.
what happened is that they attributed a whole lot of stuff to this quote unquote phenomenon or whatever you want to call it that didn't actually wasn't responsible. Like when COVID happened, they said that a whole bunch of deaths that weren't even related to COVID were actually COVID. The same thing happened with fentanyl.
Well, just realize that in both of those cases, you're talking about people that are looking for funding. So, for
True.
example, the two fake fentanyl overdoses and all that mythology behind it is to, again, this is the problem reaction solution. Scare the
Yeah.
public into voting for your fucking funding and then use your funding to go fucking pull somebody over for speeding and then ask them to search the shit out of their car, right?
Yeah. And that's why I think the Chinese thing is made up, bro. Because number one, the main reason I say it, bro, is because I can't even picture in my head. I can't even picture the Mexicans working with the Chinese like that.
That's you're totally missing something. For example, why El Chapo? I was in Singapore, and that's all I'll say. When El Chapo was creating that super lab. And that was one of the things when he ended up in Forbes and he was warned they weren't going to go after El Chapo. They were kind of letting him fly under the radar because he had shit under control. But when he did that super lab, he got a warning not to do it. And this is where they like globalize the cartels. They're still global, but this is one of the reasons we started going down there and taking out their leaders, even though that caused a lot of death. But I can say this. I would never rely solely on the information that you can read about Zacatecas and the Chinese miners. If you noticed, a lot of what you're reading says there might be, and there may be, and there's possible Chinese connections.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between being down there and, learning about it from those involved in it, and then coming back and then you want to try to explain that to somebody on the American side. You just tell them to look it up. And then what they find, they don't know the difference between intelligence and counterintelligence. Now, there's ways to learn how to do that. But one of the ways is to have boots on the ground intelligence.
Well, that's it, bro. Right now, we are in a Cold War with China, bro. So the
Totally,
same
100%. And have you ever heard of unrestricted warfare?
no, but I can deduce what it means. But the same way that we looked at Russia during the Cold War is the same way that we're looking at China right now. And everything that goes wrong, everything that happens bad, we're finding a way to attribute it to China if it's a global.
Except for the real shit. So, for example, China had 2 operatives come in. I can't remember what university. I think it was in California. Now, they smuggled in a virus that potentially would have wiped out all the corn in all the Americas. I mean, not every single plant, but it would have fucking devastated the corn, which, by the way, was created by Mesoamericans. Took like 9 to 20,000 years for them to genetically modify a virtually unedible plant into corn. The crazy thing is, even a company like Monsanto can't do that. So instead, they try this copyright.
That's the part you're not including is that Monsanto already did that. Like Monsanto seeds
Not creating foods out of
but
unedible plants.
they destroyed all organic seeds. There is
Well, yeah, not all of them. In Mexico, there's a lot of good organic corn still. Because they
maybe
protect it with their
here
lives.
in America though, in order to get like the farm funding.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff like
doesn't
that.
exist anymore in America for sure.
So it's like so when I hear something like this thing, Chinese people trying to sabotage the corn, I think, well, damn, that's a good story, but Monsanto did that shit themselves.
Nah, it's different than what that virus was doing. The virus would have destroyed corn. And
Yeah,
by the
but
way,
that's what Monsanto did in the long term.
No,
Like,
Monsanto.
when we're gone, corn will not grow naturally.
Monsanto did 2 things. Number one, they copyrighted and patented a genetic strain of corn.
Of all,
And then
of almost all products that are grown in the United States.
Since Monsanto was the chemical company, if you want to speculate on how they by the way, they waited a decade before they started suing the farmers. But in that decade, how did they corrupt all the farmers' corn crops? It's probable that when they were crop dusting, they had pollen in that.
Well, the seeds are genetically mutated only for genetically mutated seeds to be the progeny of other seeds.
Well, that's one of the 2 things they did. One is to patent their genetic strains so that when they infected all the corn crops in America, then they sued the farmers because then they can test the corn. Number 2, they want the farmers to be forced to buy seed from them. And the farmers used to live off of their next year's supply. So they made it so it killed
phased out organic seeds.
Yeah, so that the seeds from the corn wouldn't grow new corn.
Yeah.
And if it did, it was fucked up. So now they have to buy corn every few years. But Maya down in Yucatan, they still grow their maize. And it's not contaminated by Monsanto. Though they're trying, Mexico is largely against Monsanto.
Who is this? Who is this in the back? I can't see you. I just see like a wine glass or something.
I don't get to see that. Let me tell you about this book, though. Unrestricted Warfare, China's Master Plan to Destroy America.
I don't like you, Ghost of Shadows, so nah, I'll pass.
So this was one of, let's see, who was it? A Chinese military manual detailing methods. I believe this was Colonial Kuo Ling and Wang Xiangushi. These were like people big. I can't remember exactly what they held, but big in the intelligence agency with the CCP. And I think he defected.
People still control you. I'm sorry. He's saying goofy shit in the back. What? Go on.
So this book, Unrestricted Warfare, is these little things that China's doing to, and fentanyl is a big deal because fentanyl killed a lot of military age males. And this is one of the things that China's been focusing on. So when you say did the cartels take advantage of China, or did China take advantage of the cartels? From both of their perspectives, they're capitalizing on the other one. But from
Fact.
each of their perspective, from the perspective, they're both getting and giving.
Yes.
So
Hold on one
China,
second, Toxic. I'm going to introduce a new topic because Ghost of Shadow said the perfect thing that I had to bring him on for, because this was the next topic that I wanted to touch on, is what is going on in Venezuela.
oh yeah, that's a good one. Good point. Since we woke
So
up
Yeah,
and saw a bunch of
I haven't
bombing.
been I haven't been listening. I haven't been listening all too much. But no, if you were talking about the cartels, America takes full advantage of them and they control them. We import all the drugs. The
yes,
American drug, the American drug kingpins, they control that fucking trade and they take a lot of it from China as well. But as far as Venezuela goes, I always laugh at the Trump tards. I don't know if you guys are Trump tards or not. I'm not
mm,
neither a Trump tard or a
Yeah, nobody
fucking
should
left.
be a political tard at all anyway.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
too busy
Whoever's
looking
drinking the
left to right.
Kool-Aid.
We're too
Right.
busy looking left to right to look from bottom to top. And here's what's interesting. Our enemies at the top are always looking from the top down, and they're always making sure we're divided. And their biggest fear is that we unite and look up.
yeah.
Right. But anyhow, it's just funny to see them guys vote for this Trump, and he sloganed, "No new wars, America first." And what does he do? He starts a new war, and then he advertises their oil to sell to other countries, not us. And I'm just laughing my ass off. But regardless, I just want to say, before I tell you my opinion, I am a globalist. I do fight for the New World Order.
Oh
And
shit.
I do believe that this war was very necessary, and we need to secure the largest oil reserve in the world. It's the largest known one. There could be a bigger one in Antarctica, who knows? But as far as the oil reserve goes, Venezuela has the most. And the thing
Oh
is
wow. Well, hold on.
Russia,
Before you go
yeah.
on though, just for my audience, Ghost, if you could, can you? Because I don't know if everybody is aware of what took place in Venezuela. Can you just give them a brief description of what actually took place?
Yes. So throughout the years, we've been sanctioning Venezuela. We've been targeting them economically. We kind of took out Hugo Chavez after they had a nice little money run, bank run, and then the people suffered. And then they put this fucking bus driver Mardo in place, and he's not capable of being a leader whatsoever. The guy ran the country poorly, just terribly. The
Maduro?
people. Maduro, yeah, he
Yeah.
hit the people. The Venezuelan people, on average, lost 20 pounds because of the famine.
Yeah.
A fifth
Well,
of their
yeah. Didn't their money
population.
turn worthless? Like they were making
Oh
hats
yeah,
out of their money, right?
yep, wheelbarrows of cash, like you saw in the 20s. They a fifth of their people actually got out of there. Hell, I work with some Venezuelans. It's incredible how many of them migrated. That country was falling apart. It was pretty easy to take over. We went in there in a fortnight, bombed whatever strategic military they had. I'm sure we hit civilians. They're going to make a big deal out of that.
Well, real quick, what you're
And
talking
it
about
was.
is needing this. You got a good point there
Well,
because here's the
hold on.
thing.
I want Toxic. Hold
Let me
on.
finish this real
Let him
quick.
get his
Just
shit off.
one sentence.
Okay.
I think you're right that we needed this, and one of the reasons is a lot of people largely look at the illegal immigrant problem inside this side of the border. We don't look at like what you just said. They're fleeing for their lives. If we solve that problem there, like we may be doing, we don't have to deal with them trying to come here
That's
desperately.
true. That's true. And that's also a testament to just how pointless our whole entire immigration discussion is the fact that you don't ever hear these other countries having this moot point conversation. But I want Ghost to elaborate because he seems to be
Yeah,
educated on
keep
this
cooking,
topic.
Ghost.
Maduro is the
Yes.
president of Venezuela, and after this time of this dictatorship, we went in there the other night. Trump did boots on the ground and drones and everything, like land, sea, and air, and took over the country, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we have been stacking up naval vessel after vessel, their aircraft carrier I mean, it was only a matter of time. I saw this coming from a mile away. I've made posts about this. We're going to invade Venezuela because we need it. We
So,
need that
Ghost,
oil.
when you saw
Now,
the Trump giving the $1,700, did you realize that we've seen that before, where they start treating the warriors real good right before war? The
yeah,
timing
just
is incredible.
incentives. Now, the one thing I want to correct the Trump tards on, no, this war has nothing to do with fucking drugs. If you want to
No, not
stop
at
the
all.
drugs, if you want to stop the drugs or target the country where the drugs are coming from, you'd hit fucking
Mexico.
Colombia.
Or
Now,
America.
well, a lot of it hits Colombia, and then they sell it up to southern Mexico, and that's when the cartels
That's
grab it
old.
and they run it.
That's old
They run
news.
it up their routes. Now,
They're mostly
Venezuela
growing it now in Mexico.
Venezuela barely fucking exported drugs. They did a little to Florida, but it was nothing. So that was just a scapegoat. And a lot of the times, you can't just tell the people we're going to go for their resources. They try to sell it off as like a villain hero type story. We're stopping
No,
the
we're taking
drugs.
their oil.
Yeah, we're going to repair the infrastructure. We're going to rebuild the pipelines. The refineries need a little tweaking because they have a heavy crude tucked under the mountain there. It requires a special type of refinery process, but we can get it down. It's going to take a couple years, people, and we got
So
to find the
okay,
labor. What's up?
so just to like okay, because just for my audience, because I don't know if they are familiar with everything that's happening. What Ghost of Shadows is saying is 100% true. People have to literally smuggle gasoline in Venezuela just to get around. You find what they call bandits driving across these like vast areas with fucking gas and oil to sell because it's so highly regulated. But what this Maduro guy did was he pretty much dictated the fuck out of the country and destroyed the economy. And you keep calling it a war. Is it actually classified as a war, or is it just a takeover?
It's
You
a
know,
war
it's
now.
funny. It's just funny. I mean, granted, as far as a military exchange goes, there was hardly any. But as far as war goes, I mean, you just bombed a country and took their leader. I mean, that's kind of what war is, right?
And their
I mean, what?
resources.
Yeah.
Why do we gotta like change the definition all of a sudden? I mean, shit, we've done less than they called that war.
Well,
A
I think he was
country.
just trying to
They're
ask Ghost if we're
I know that.
officially at
I
war.
know that.
They're not.
Just.
No, I was
I'm just
wondering if
trying to.
they're fighting back. Is the only distinction I make is if they're
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah,
They
and
don't
there
really
could
have
have
a way
been
to fight back.
there could have been some, I don't know, AA guns that tried to fire at some helicopters, but regardless, they were just taken out. We suffered no casualties. We did it as clean and safe as possible.
Damn,
Well, on top of that,
no
Ghost,
No
casualties.
casualties. Yes, you
That
heard.
lends
Wow.
credibility to what you were saying, because if they were like the cartels of Mexico, they would have been well armed and there would have been helicopters shot out of the sky.
Well, was he not? Was this guy not? Because most dictators and guys like that, was he aware that he was in the crosshairs and he hadn't?
Oh, yes. In fact,
Well,
China and Russia have a lot of vested interest in Venezuela. They were pulling his strings. They told him, just wait out the embargo. We know you're being economically sanctioned. We know there's nothing coming to your country. We know you can't sell nothing, but you just got to stay on our side and don't cave in to the Americans.
well,
But
on top of that, you got to figure out what they're telling us and if the opposite is true. I don't particularly believe Maduro and his wife are quote unquote arrested. This could have been a safe exit plan for Maduro, and he might have a deal with our government.
right. But back to the drug thing. If we were really there to stop the flow of drugs, why would Trump pardon people like the Silk Road's founder, that Ross Ulbricht, right?
What?
Because he
Yeah.
wasn't dealing drugs, man.
He set up the system to traffic
He got.
drugs online. Now, let me tell you this first. I actually believe that he should have been pardoned. I think drugs should be legalized,
Well,
decriminalized, all of them.
that's like
Yes.
saying, hold on. That's like saying the guy just had to report to prison for 4 years because he had to plea because he was getting railroaded, but he did not break any
No, but
laws creating samurai.
he was actually aware, bro, of like a bajillion law is being broken. So
Who's not? I
it
mean, the
makes
guy who
sense.
created Samurai is aware that people will use it for laundering, but the point
But
is
he helped to make the exchanges between these people. I mean, I wouldn't think that he would
no,
ever
he
get out of jail.
created a system where you could use crypto anonymously to buy whatever on the internet. But
Yes.
here's the motive behind that most people overlook. When you use Bitcoin, your net worth is there, and there are cartels that know how to look at that information to find your home address, what cars, what planes, and they fucking hunt you down. There's a lot of quote unquote mysterious cold case deaths where the people's crypto is gone, and today we're told we don't know who killed them. There's
Okay,
a lot of
but
that
hold
going
on.
on.
Okay, when did this happen? When did he get pardoned
He
by
got
Trump?
pardoned exactly almost 1 year ago.
Wow. Do
And
you
we
think
were
that?
hoping he would do that.
So
Do
much
you
That
for
was a
think?
being
good move.
tough on drugs and all that, because he's
Yeah.
pardoning the drug dealers, which I think is a good move still. Don't get me
But he
wrong.
didn't
I'm just
object if
pointing
you
out
break the
I'm
law.
just pointing out a simple hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell people this isn't about the drugs. This isn't about the Venezuelan immigrants or the gangs in America. I mean, in Chicago, there was like, what was it, the Crips or something? They took over tons of apartment
The
complexes,
gangster
and we never went to
disciples.
war over those fucking
Well,
countries.
again,
Yeah.
Look at the Mexican cartels operating
yeah,
along the border.
Venezuela's not a big player.
Well, is this
Yeah, exactly. That's
this
what
a
I'm just saying.
narrative? Is this a part of the narrative that's being
Yeah.
exchanged? Like, because I
Yes,
hadn't
this
heard
is
this.
the Kool-Aid they're offering people,
Yep.
and people are gonna drink it up, of course, because they're
They
just
are.
that dumb.
They are.
But they just need, I think they could sell it a little bit better and tell them, hey, we are going for their oil. This is a strategic move to cut Russia's revenue, to
Well,
hurt
he
their
is kind of
wartime
saying that, which
Yes, to
surprises
hurt
me.
their wartime economy, because Russia needs to be stopped, everyone. It's just it really needs to
In what
stop over
sense?
there.
In what sense?
Look, if Russia doesn't,
More than
Russia,
any other country, the United
exactly,
States.
but
Gone.
I get that double-edged coin, but the thing is, it's Russia. They're being aggressive over there in Eastern Europe. They are trying
Well,
to take over all of Eastern Europe to establish their old borders, to protect themselves, to regain population, because they know their population is collapsing. They know they won't be able to defend themselves anymore. And so, if we can hit their pockets and dramatically lower the cost of energy and flood the market with this Venezuelan oil, they would have nothing left. And
well,
that
Okay,
we're
is how
trying to
we
do the
beat
same
let
beat
me
Russia.
let me ask you though, because you said they have to be stopped. To a few things. Is it our job to stop them? Which I don't understand why it is, because I
because they're
think.
our enemy.
Hold on,
That's why.
I think that that's a natural part of the natural order of things. And number two, you said you're a globalist. Are you specifically only a globalist if that happens under American control?
No, I'm actually for the original idea of the international liberal order, where we there's like economic cooperation among countries, and I believe in America was for this. That's why they built up their navy to patrol all these maritime routes. This happened after World War II. They made a security agreement with the world saying, "Hey, we can economically prosper here if we all work together, and we will provide the navy to protect all of your vessels, all of your trade." That world order has now been diminished. It's fallen apart, and Russia knows it. And China knows it, and that's why they're amping up their navy. They're
But if
patrolling that South China Sea. And what I'm saying here is I'm all for the old global order. Like I hope we can restore that and prosper economically like we have. People need to realize how much that helped the world.
Okay, so
Exchanging.
but there's a difference between what you're saying though of a global order and what we have an idea of the new world order, right? Because like you're talking about order as in like being orderly, when the original concept was kind of like a one world government.
Yeah, and so the one world government, I pondered that theory before, and it could be the United Nations, because that kind of acts like a federation among
It is.
all of the
That's
governments,
exactly
right?
what it is.
So that could be your United Nations. But as far as like the like international cooperation, I don't see how that's a bad thing. Why can't Saudi Arabia, who has no agriculture but has tons of energy, trade with like Europe, who has a lot of agriculture but not a lot of energy? You know, there can be great trade relationships that can benefit all countries, and
Well,
it
yeah,
has. It totally has. We have like food security, it's almost gone, it's almost diminished. I know parts of Africa still suffer famine, but regardless, we have eliminated a lot of food scarcity around this world. Same with energy, we're getting people cars mobilized, where it's helped a lot of the world out with our
Well,
trade
I,
policies.
I think there's a lot more one world order established than people think, because you wonder what a one world order is, but when you start to look at secret societies, and there's definitely one world order elements.
well,
Almost all
I
police
think that
around,
there
hold on,
are,
almost all police around the entire globe wear blue or black, dark blue or black. They have insignia. They have very similar insignia.
but there's
Same
no
thing with
proof.
militaries.
That doesn't mean that's a non sequitur. But we have three world orders right now, and I don't understand why they're in conflict and when one another tries to further their, because we're doing the exact same thing that Russia's doing. The way that we went and took over Venezuela is the exact same way that Russia went and took over whatever
Ukraine.
yeah, Ukraine.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
I don't understand why, like, it just seems like a failing road to take the position of that's immoral when we're doing the exact same thing.
That's because you're trying to appeal to the people. The rulers don't give a shit
Well,
about you
that's
moral.
yeah. Well, a
This is a
populist is
talking
someone
point.
who
Go ahead.
appeals to the people. A
Yeah.
populist is someone who appeals to the people, and that's exactly what Trump is. That's what Bernie Sanders is. So,
Mm-hmm.
and to my surprise, Joe Biden was the same way. You know, they try to
Yeah.
say they're for the working man. You know, they're gonna help
Mm-hmm.
you out. We're for the people. We're anti-establishment. Those are totally populist talking points. They've been campaigning on this for a while now. People are too blind to see it. Most people these days are aware of a deep state, of the
Well,
establishment, and
that's
it's
been the talking
incredible the
point.
amount of people who are aware of that. And so when you tell them or deliver them a talking point such as "vote for me, I'm anti-establishment," they're gonna vote for you.
But that's been
It's
going
just
on since the founding fathers. That was the
Well,
whole idea of
what?
right.
America to
But
begin with.
when that term was introduced, though, it was introduced as a conspiracy theory term. It's amazing how that's come to like be a logical understanding. You know?
It's not. It wasn't. The founding
Exactly.
fathers made that populist idea that
Yeah,
No.
every
and
man was
yes,
equal.
well, it's like and exactly, it's a cycle. We've been into this like this loop before. We're just kind of looping, you know, because but
Yep.
then sooner before or later, we're back to having two sides of the coin that we're gonna just drink the Kool-Aid. And
Yeah, it's
if
two
we think
sides of
they're
the same
working
coin.
together, you're fucking a conspiracy theorist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other thing about conspiracy theory is a lot of people misattribute it to the CIA and JFK, and there was actually other presidential assassinations where the term conspiracy theory was used previously for the same reason. But the CIA did capitalize on it in JFK to discredit, people who questioned it. They just didn't invent the term.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, they popularized it, I think. But what's incredible is the way that one simple term can undermine so much information so efficiently. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Exactly. Look at the term marijuana. That was invented as a propaganda term. That's not the original name.
reefer
We used to
madness.
call it cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Wow.
was because Mexican farmhands largely used it, so it was really easy to scare the shit out of your middle class and your wealthy people. Those dirty Mexicans and their weed, you know.
I don't know.
Right.
It
Uh,
Right.
was. It
I'm
was
just
reefer madness.
but I'll
An
kick
yeah,
your
but
ass
extended.
at the end of the day,
calling
I just
Mexicans
want to
dirty.
stress the importance of like I not the importance, but just letting everyone know this is the reason why we invaded Venezuela. This is the strategic angle they're looking at, and it's all about the resources there. I know it sounds crazy and dumb.
That's true. That's
It's
objectively
true.
true.
You know, it's and you know what? Maybe in 2 years, when we do repair all the pipelines, the refineries, we get some vessels built. We might see some dramatic price drops at the gas stations.
Well,
That's not a bad thing.
Well, that's
That's
what I
there's
was
not a
gonna.
bad
definitely
thing.
That's what I was gonna ask you, Ghost. Is so overall, because like I said, bro, this has kind of been like a under the headlines type of thing, and people aren't speaking about it the way that I would expect them to be. Overall, do you look at this as a move in the right direction or the wrong direction?
yet to be
Okay, so
determined.
it's first, yeah, determined exactly. Because right now, my first impression, right. But when I look at the history of what we do with occupations like Iraq or Afghanistan, we never do establish stability in these countries, and
There's
they
a
usually
reason
end
for
up
that.
Well,
right.
we've done all right with Puerto
And that's
Rico,
what I
right?
think is going to happen here. I'll make a prediction, Ghost.
Well, we're not gonna actually. We're not gonna make it. Try to make it a part of the United States or anything, are
A
we?
territory, yes, but it's being spoken about in a vague a sense. But basically, what they're saying, yeah, we're going to occupy control to see to it that their military leaders aren't fighting for power. We're going to take control. And what we're being told is contrary to historical precedents or so, and this is why we're being told that we're going to stabilize it. We are going to take their resources, but stabilizing it works against Raytheon and Halliburton. So, for example, there's a reason that we abandoned $85 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan, because not only does Raytheon, Halliburton, and the manufacturers have to replace that at probably 3 times the cost of $85 billion, but then we have to use all that newly replaced equipment to go to Afghanistan and destroy all the $85 billion worth of equipment. And here's what's crazy. With their AK-47s and their frickin' Stingers, not Stingers, RPGs. We fought them for 20 years and didn't win. Imagine what it's going to take, how long the war is going to take to destroy all that military equipment, Humvees, Black Hawks, and
Black Cox. What?
Black Hawks, the helicopters. And so at the same time, when we talk about if we really believe what they're saying about securing Venezuela, yeah, we'll get the oil, and that whole thing is a moral talking point. We're not going to let the civilians suffer. We're going to stabilize the country and repair it. But that works against everything.
You keep derailing the point of what I'm asking. I'm asking if for the average, because I'm appealing to the average everyday American. For the average American, is this going to turn out to be is this going to be something that ends up because and another question for both of y'all is what does the rest of the world have to say about what we're doing in Venezuela? But my main question
We're villains.
hold on. My main question was, is this a good thing for Americans?
I don't think so.
It's neither. It's just a good thing for the world, really. Like I said, it's just a way to really hurt Russia's wartime economy. Their bread and butter is all about energy. That's all they got to offer, and some wheat. Of course, they got a lot of wheat and barley. But it's if we can flood the world market with Venezuelan heavy crude, we can really hurt them. And right now, I think the world would like to see Russia stopped. Maybe not China,
Okay.
maybe not Iran, but as far as a lot of the developed countries, they want to see Russia slow down and just die
Okay.
right there in Ukraine.
So nobody's spoken out, like as far as like the other members of the UN haven't said anything about because it seemed like it was really sudden.
Well, no, people have spoken against attacking because it's illegal.
Yeah, I mean
we
by
attacked
rights,
the country.
it's an illegal war of aggression, And of course,
Yeah.
the International Security Council of the United Nations aren't going to say nothing because, by largely, it's made up of us, NATO.
And you know what's
America.
weird, Ghost? Here's what's weird. Anytime we've ever wanted to attack a country like this, we always created a false flag to justify it. This is one of the first times, at least
That
that
is
I know
true.
of,
That is
where
a
we
great
didn't do
point.
that. We just made
Remember
accusations.
drugs,
Well, that was just an
gangs.
accusation.
That was the false flag.
But here's what's crazy. I'll bet whatever was on those boats that we destroyed had nothing to do with drugs, but they were definitely something we wanted to
Hold on, was
target.
that Venezuela? Was that Venezuelan people?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't.
But
I
they were
completely
running
agree.
something else. It might
Like
have been Russian.
Oh
And
yes,
I can't really talk about Russia because definitely problem. But
I
what I
love
can
Russia,
say,
bro. I salute Russia, bro. Russia is doing what we're doing, bro, and I salute them as long as they stay the
well,
fuck
Russia
over
are
there.
masters of signal intelligence, and
I just want them to stay where they're at, bro, and we're
let's
good,
just
bro.
say Venezuela was not the proxy.
If it's on your continent, bro, and you're in charge of your government, do whatever you want, bro. But I'm more concerned with what's happening here in America, man. We keep on putting our focus on places that are outside of our borders when we could be focused on what's happening right here, you know?
Well, that's the America First outlook, but the problem is attacking another country is outside of our borders, and that should be on everybody's mind. But I'll tell you this: Venezuela was not the Russian proxy. If
What
it
does that
was,
mean?
we'd have
What does that even
well.
mean?
I'll just tell you this: there's proxy war already going on, and Venezuela is not the country where it's happening.
Yeah, well, that was to undermine Venezuela economically, is what Ghost is saying, I
No,
believe.
I get that. I'm not arguing his point. I'm arguing what they're making public.
Oh,
But the problem, Venezuela is not where the Russian problem is, but there are South American countries where there's a massive Russian problem, and it has mostly to do with signal intelligence.
okay.
Well, if you think about it, like Brazil, they're the biggest small arms dealer of the world, and they export
Oh yeah,
mainly AK-47s. Where did they get a lot of them parts to
Russia.
produce all them AK-47s? Russia, yeah.
Well, a lot of
So
it comes out of Singapore now, so a lot of those when you go to the South American companies, their Heckler and Koch MP5s are made in Singapore or Malaysia, excuse me, and a lot of the AK-47s
Hey,
are made in
Malaysia be making
Malaysia.
shit, bro. Malaysians could probably fucking MacGyver anything. They make
Well, it's
everything
not
in
always
Malaysia.
Malaysia. Sometimes, for example, I don't remember who owns the MP5, the Heckler and Koch dies and all the presses to manufacture. I believe it was an American company. Um, and that's where we get our MP5s today. They're built in Malaysia or Singapore. I can't remember which one. And then there's 7 parts that have to be manufactured in America. It's called HR 922 compliance.
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, so is this going to lead to further conflict for the United States, or is it going to lead to or neither, or is it going to lead to a further state of a peaceful
It's already leading to, again, since Venezuela is not the country of proxy, but there is a country of proxy between North Korea, Russia, and
Okay, but the reason, God damn, Toxic, you're too quick to answer everything. I don't know if you even
no,
think
you asked
sometimes.
if
You're
it's going to be
you're
a
not
further
even taking a
problem.
second to think about anything that's being said. Okay, with everything that's going on globally with America, including the fact that America released this plan for whatever that had us, that's like very plainly talked about us pretty much psychologically manipulating Europe of all places, and the global other global powers did speak out about that, and there is like this side eye going on with America. Is this not going to add to that?
Yeah,
So like,
absolutely.
where's the tipping? Because we're violating the Geneva Convention and a whole bunch of other stuff going on with the UN by doing this, are we not?
Well, yeah, that, but
they
the
are,
thing,
they are, but blind. You got to look at it from Europe's point of view. You know, they rely on a lot of Russia energy, and they want to get away from that. They're tired of funding Russia to fight their allies, and that's what they're doing right now. So if they can tap into another source of energy like Venezuela, they're going to be all for it.
Okay,
They're thinking
okay.
about the dollars here.
So then this is pretty much like for good or bad, it's kind of a necessary move for most of the powers.
It's strategic. It's strategic for America and its allies, being Europe, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam. Big country to look at. Vietnam. Look at that South China Sea. Lots of Navy patrol by China. That's something to
Yeah.
keep your eyes on. Indonesia, strong demographic, lots of population, but they're very neutral, just like Malaysia. They really haven't picked a side yet, and they don't want to. Turkey, no
I see
different.
Indonesia as definitely America.
I
They're
mean, they
connected big time.
lots of business and trade agreements being done with Indonesia. I won't deny it, but that's a smart move on them. It really is.
Yeah,
But
for
Well,
sure. Well,
Bush
what?
supplied those
everyone wants to
planes.
do business with America, not China. China's collapsing. Their demographics are completely declining. Their one-child rule policy fucked them over. They're experiencing a population where the elderly outnumber the young. So
Yeah,
you'll have to
But
maintain the
our
infrastructure of the economy while providing death care and health care for the elderly. We're experiencing that in America as
we're on
well.
course. Yeah, we're on course to go down the same road, right? But I wanted to ask because one thing I saw that I've never seen before is that when they're talking about President Maduro, they seem to bunch him and his wife into all of these fucking charges and stuff. Are they gonna Saddam Hussein both of them? Do y'all think?
Uh it's tough. They might even do an El Chapo where they release them, you know?
well,
I don't
we'll
know
never know what
how.
they actually do.
Right. He might, you know, he's going to get some luxurious incarceration. I
Yeah,
guarantee you that. Better than any of our inmates in America get. It's not like he's going to be mistreated or anything. I don't know why his wife is dragged into a lot of this. I mean, I'm sure it's
there's
just
a
guilt
good
by
reason for that.
association.
It's not. It's
But
probably not that. It's probably because we're going to quote unquote incarcerate him, but in reality, incarceration is very similar to when you do an assassination, make a patsy. It ends the search. So the cartels that might or the foes that might be hunting down El Chapo, El Mayo, and
Yeah, that's the
Maduro will
reason
not
why.
look if they think he's in prison.
That's the whole reason why that what's that FBI program where they
WIDSEG.
witness protection. That's what they do. And bro, when you are given a new identity and put in a new place, like you just blend into the fucking background. Nobody would ever ask any questions,
It wouldn't be so easy for Maduro to do that. A little plastic surgery. But there's also some OPSEC that they can run to delete like fingerprints and uh, shit that's on computers like Interpol.
Yeah, I say we need to take over Mexico next, bro. Fuck it. And no, Canada, bro. Fuck it. Let's take over Canada.
right.
Uh,
So Canada and Mexico, very good partners to have. You got to be grateful we're
hell
neighbors.
yeah.
Honestly, we get so much of our. You know, a lot of people wonder where do we get most of our energy from. We get it from Canada. That we get it from all them tar sands up in Alberta.
And
Alberta.
and the uranium. There's uranium going on there. And by the way, you're speaking of the energy, and while the oil is short term, when we talk about the energy that the data centers require, this is where investing in stocks for the next 10 years that have to do with like a multi-tier pyramid starts with the mining and uranium. And there's about 4 different ones I've listed where you
Nah,
can't lose.
just go straight to Nvidia, bro. If you
Well, no,
Angel,
no, there's
Angel,
yeah.
I want to share with you one little secret. There's another mineral called thorium. It's not as reactive as uranium. Uranium is hard to stabilize, especially when it melts down, but thorium a lot easier to control. Watch for these new fusion reactors to
That's
be
what I'm
using
talking about.
thorium.
Sam Altman has a pretty good one, but it's a high risk, high return.
Mhm.
And I would put
Yeah.
about 15% of your resources into that one. Because but those reactors are fucking amazing. And the company that makes those little, I can't remember what they're called. They're like little balls of uranium. They already have the Navy contract for the submarines and all that kind of shit. So you can't lose there. It's low risk, high reward. but nowhere as high as like CRISPR. But Nvidia is in a massive bubble right now. All
Yeah,
it takes to destroy Nvidia is a new chip that
but that doesn't
changes
seem to
everything.
be. That's not on the horizon for the foreseeable future. They're stacking them chips, bro.
Oh no, they are, but there's better ways to invest in Nvidia. I'll tell you one of them. Right now, I'll look it up. I got a folder with all this stuff on it, but it's I can't remember what you call them. You might know, Ghost, where you invest in a company that holds stock in multiple companies, and Nvidia is one of them.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Oh, what is that term called? I know
SMT
that
or
term.
something like that. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
three-letter term.
yeah. But before I jump off panel, thanks for letting me on here, Blind, and talk
Yeah,
about some of these real world stuff. I know there's some. I know sometimes you get.
fuck off my channel. Bye, Ghost. I don't want to hear you talk a whole lot. Toxic. I'm hungry. I gotta go. But thank you guys for joining me, and salute to y'all. Any last words, Toxic?
No, just have a good one, Jen.
Yeah,
Oh, I will
salute.
say one thing. Jen brought up Burma. So Burma would be a great proxy to fuck up China, but we're just abandoning them.
All right, there you
So
go. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it first from Toxic Angel and Ghost of Shadows, man. We're taking over the whole world, guys. Today it was Venezuela, tomorrow it's Mexico, and then it's the whole fucking solar system. After that, I don't know what to tell you. But salute to you guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you at least got to kick back and enjoy some content for a little bit. Take care, guys. Remember, there's your side, there's her side, and there is the blind side. Blind side news. I'm out of here. Peace, suckers.